What's good, guys? This is your boy Carlos, the Colombian guy. Welcome to my YouTube channel once again. And today, guys, I'm about to speak facts about Colombia, because today 1,000 of Colombians, they are protesting against their president, against our president. So let's speak facts. Let's investigate why they are protesting about Gustavo Petro, which is our president, guys. So stay here with me in the video, and you guys won't lose any details about the reasons why they protesting against our president. So guys, let me just go ahead. Let me just speak facts. So my intro won't take so long, guys. And let me tell you all, hey, there is a lot of reason why Colombians today are protesting against their president. But one of the main reasons, guys, is because the government is trying to create a new tax reform. So which means the tax reform that we have now, a lot of things gonna be changed. They're gonna create new laws and all of that. So it's a lot of change that that's it's gonna be for Colombia in case if they create the new tax reform. So a lot of Colombians are scared because when in our sister country Venezuela, they change the tax reform that they had back in the days. This was one of the reasons why Venezuela is still falling apart. And this is the reason why a lot of Colombians are scared. They think they kind of scared about the change. The change, because even our president said this change could be good for Colombia. So a lot of Colombians they are scared about that, because of course there is a lot of people that hate and a lot of politician movements that hate our president, because I said this before, but I'm gonna be more deep now, because in Colombia we had the right and we had the left. So the left is kind of a politician movement that few people support. So our president is the first time in 20-30 something years that a president from the left is a president in Colombia for the first time, because back in the days, for 30 something years, like I said, all the president that we've been having in Colombia, they power the right. Ivan Duque, Juan Manuel Santos, Álvaro Uribe, all of that. The third one that I mentioned, he's the one, he's been the president in Colombia for almost 20 something years, for almost 25 years. He's been the one in the power. Even they had some people they put Ivan Duque was there, Juan Manuel Santos was there, all this president. But this guy right here, he's the man. He was the man in the power when Ivan Duque, Santos, all of them. Well, Santos, they got into a problem. And Santos, he was doing kind of his own thing. But Uribe, he was the one that put all these people to become a president in Colombia, because this guy Uribe, he has a lot of money and he has a lot of power in Colombia. And also this guy is known like the president without witnesses. Every time they're trying to accuse him for something, or with something that they have proof, the witnesses disappear. And guess what? I don't know. So guys, this guy, he's been very, very, very powerful in Colombia. And let me tell you why this guy has been so powerful in Colombia, why Colombians love him so much. And let me tell you why, guys. So back in the days, Uribe, when they realized, was they were very strong, back in the days, they still strong, but back in the day, they were very, 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 very super strong. They were kind of doing a competition with the army. They had kind of, the same guns and all of that back in the days, you know what I mean? So guys, the reason why Colombians love this president so much, and I see they show him respect, and I think they love him, is because his families, they were unalived by the guerrillas back in the days. They unalived everybody and the mama at his house. So when he was young, when he was a teenager or something, so when he was growing up, he promised himself he's gonna do a revenge against the guerrillas. And when he grew up, his family got money like crazy. They had cows, all of that, got money like crazy. So when he grew up, he created this group in Colombia, was kind of revolutionary group that they were only in charge to attack the guerrillas. So, you know, the group was named Paracos. Paracos, you know, they kind of like, you know, they realized, you know, like the LEN that, you know, that we have now too. So, but they were doing something different. They were doing the opposites, but but you know, like something different about what the guerrilla was doing. Because remember, you know, the guerrillas, you know, they were working, you know, with the narcos, you know, all of that. They were, you know, doing like illegal business, you know, all of that. At the beginning, when they realized terrorists, you know, the main purpose was like, oh, you know, they want something, they want a better Colombia, you know, for Colombia, so, you know, Colombians can live in peace, you know, all of that, you know, all of that was fake. Well, maybe, you know, it was real at the beginning, but, you know, with the years, you know, it proved like, you know, they did, you know, totally the opposites. They hurt the people, you know, all of that. So, guys, long story short, you know, Uribe, he created, you know, these groups, you know, called the Paracos. They were in charge to attack the guerrillas, you know, like they don't mess. They were not messing, like, you know, with the community, with the locals, you know. They were not taking lines, you know, from the farmers, you know, none of that. They were not unalive, you know, like innocent people, you know, none of that, you know. They were doing great things at the beginning. They were doing great things with the community. But you know how in Colombia, you know, like good things don't take so long, you know, like good things don't take so long in Colombia. So when in the 2000 somethings, you know, like at the beginning of 2000s, you know, Uribe, you know, this guy, you know, he got into the power. He's been chosen like many times as a president. So he got into the power. So he declared the war, you know, against the guerrillas. But he didn't care no more about the Paracos, you know, the group that he created by his own. So, you know, his group, like he was, oh, you know, I don't care. You know, I'm too busy, you know, dealing with, you know, I'm a president now. So, you know, you guys can do, you know, your own thing now. Long story short, guys, you know, like he declared the war, you know, but they realized it was, you know, they were in war, you know, they were, you know, fighting, you know, each other, you know, the government, the guerrillas, you know, back and forth, all of that. So even, you know, like a lot of people, you know, like the reason, you know, that's the reason why they love him, because like he declared the war, you know, against the guerrillas, which is, you know, they have hurt a lot of people in Colombia, a lot of families, you know, but the guerrilla only, just like, imagine this, you know, only just a little bit, 8 million people has lost their life, you know, by the hands of the guerrillas. So that's a high fucking number. So imagine, like, you know, now, you know, like the guerrillas, because like, you know, like back in the days, Colombia was crazy, guys, when I'm telling you. And the only people like they don't see like Colombia is doing better than before is the you know, the people that they always like, you know, they love to judge Colombia for what it was and not for what it is and not for what we're doing now. Colombia is being successful now way better than before, because before, you know, the government was fighting, you know, against the narcos, against the guerrillas, against the Paracos, you know, it was so many revolutionary groups. So, you know, we're doing better than before now. We're doing way better than before. So imagine, like, you know, like let's say, you know, this microphone here, you know, is Abba Uribe, you know. Let's say this glass right here is always hitting me out of my face. So the microphone one day, you know, he got into the power, and the microphone, you know, started, you know, fighting this glass, and then, you know, finish with this glass. So, you know, it was the same thing with Abba Uribe, you know. So locals saw in this microphone, I'm just giving this example, you know, locals saw in this microphone the superhero against the guerrillas. Guerrillas, the one that were hurting a lot the community, and they seek hurting their community in Colombia, especially the black community, you know, like I did, you know, the last video I did. So about, you know, talking about, you know, our own black people in Colombia. So guys, you know, this is one of the reasons, you know, like why Colombians love so much this president. But, you know, from this, like I say, you know, good things in Colombia, you know, they don't take long. So the group that he created, you know, the group that he created, they also, you know, they were doing fake positive, you know, like I used to like him. I used to like this guy, Abba Rivers, but you know, after this fake positive, you know, I didn't like him no more. So fake positive was like, you know, like the government, you know, like they were fighting the guerrillas, you know, the Paracos were fighting the guerrillas, and then, you know, like there is a lot of farmer people in Colombia. So even, you know, the farmer people were paying for that, because like they were, I'm not saying, you know, the president, you know, did this or something, you know, I'm not saying that, but, you know, like they were also, you know, the government, you know, back in the days, and it's been proof. A lot of people are on jail for this. it's been proved, like, you know, the government, like, they were unaliving innocent people, farmers, you know, and they got the fake positives because back in the days, the government, they used to give a lot of gift for people, like, you know, for example, you know, high members of the military, soldiers. They were like, oh, you know, if you guys, you know, in case, you know, you guys got into a war and, you know, some members of the FARC lose their life, we're gonna give you a car, we're gonna give you a house, we're gonna give you, you know, we're gonna give you so many gifts. So, you know, people, like, they were motivated, and, you know, by this motivation, they also unalive innocent people. They also unalive, you know, which is so sad. They also, you know, a lot of, you know, innocent people, they lose their life, you know, into that game, you know, where they create, you know, the fake positive. They also, you know, a lot of, you know, farmers were losing their life, and what they did is, like, dress them with the clothes from the guerrillas, so, you know, they can they can appear, you know, they can show, like, the country, or they can show, like, the news, or, you know, they were part of the guerrillas, but they were just farmers, you know. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, they've been blaming this guy too, you know, Abba Uribe. Like I say, you know, a lot of people like him, you know, a lot of people don't. I don't like him personally because, you know, like, I think, you know, he's just trying to, like, he's been doing, like, good things from Colombia, but, you know, he's also, you know, like, a lot of innocent people, you know, they had to pay for some things that, you know, that they didn't deserve to pay. So, guys, you know, like I say, you know, like, you know, this guy is kind of like, you know, he's doing like the opposition, you know, for our president, you know, because he's from the right and left, they will never get along, because first of all, you know, the left is, you know, a president, like, you know, like, they get along with the president from Venezuela, you know, Cuba, you know, all these countries, and the guys from the right, they don't get along with them. And, you know, they've been feeling some type of way about, you know, like, maybe, you know, Colombians can finally open their eyes and not to choose the right no more. Not to choose the right no more, because our president, so far, you know, maybe, you know, he can do like dirty things, you know, maybe at the end of his presidency or something. But, you know, like, so far, you know, I think, like, he's been doing great things for Colombia. But what happened is, like, there is a lot of powerful Colombians behind this, you know, there is a lot of rich politicians that they don't like him to be successful. You know, they always are putting, like, things on his ways for him to fall. You know, they always putting the stones so he can fall. You know what I mean? And they be opening, you know, a lot of investigations against him, you know. His son, the president's son, he's on jail because they accuse him, you know, for a corruption case, you know, and stuff like that. But they always, you know, they're trying to take him down. They're trying to take him down, you know, they accuse him to do this, to do that, you know, a lot of stuff. Like, trust me, like, you know, this president is not being easy for him, because, like I say, you know, if you are not part of the right in Colombia, you almost fuck it up. Meaning about the politicians, you know, because I have my right and left, you know, I use both, you know, I don't care about that. But, you know, about politicians, you gotta be, if you ain't from the right, you almost fuck it up, because you will have you gotta fight with a lot of monsters behind you. And like I say, you know, he's been doing a lot of amazing and great things from the community, and also from the government too, you know what I mean? Like, he just donated, like, almost like 25,000, like, a scholarship, you know, a scholarship in the best universities. Not like, oh, you know, like in the hood, you know, in the best universities in Colombia. They donate 25,000 scholarship, you know, for the students, you know, they can go, you know, all of that. He's been doing a lot of things. He's trying to create. It's been proof, and I can show you guys proof. You know, he's gonna create a train from Chocó to Panama, because Chocó and Panama, they close. You know, they got a jungle over there, jungle at the end, you know. So they're gonna create. He's trying to create a train that, you know, it can communicate Panama with Chocó, you know, just not only by boat, also by train. So, you know, a lot of like business people, like, you know, that they import, export coffee, you know, and stuff like that. It's gonna be more easy for them, and it's gonna generate a lot of money and a lot of income, you know, for communities like Chocó. It's funny, like, you know, that one of the most affecting area in Colombia, like I say in my video, is the black people, you know, the black community from the Pacific, and they the one that love more petrol, because, like, and they the one, like, you know, like, if they were mad with him, you know, I might say, oh, you know, it's something wrong with him or something. But you know, they love him. You know, they love him. I can show you guys proof. You know, he is in Choco. You know, Petro. You know, this and that. But like I said, you know, there is a lot of octopus. A lot of octopus, you know, behind all of this, that they trying to take him down, you know, all of that, because they just feel some type of way that, you know, that this guy that they've been hating for a long time, you know, they've been hating for a while, you know, they don't want to see him successful. They don't want to see him with, you know, successful Colombia, you know, they don't want to see him like, you know, doing great, you know, none of that. They just want to see him down, guys, you know what I mean? And they already they've been creating like a lot of good things for Colombia. For example, you know, now, you know, let me just show you guys, you know, let me just show you this, you know, right here, you know, like some things that, you know, they've been creating, you know, for the Colombians, you know, for the new tax reform, you know, all of that. So this is some of the things, you know, that they've been creating for us. Our 5 secrets to know if the government is doing well with the new tax reform. Anybody that made 2 or 3 times the salary month in Colombia, they need to pay for their pension. And they need to have an insurance. Let's remember, guys, if you guys don't know, a lot of people that are independent, that they have their own business in Colombia, they don't have. If they don't pay for their pension, they won't get nothing when they get. Second one, the Bank of the Republic is gonna administrate the money from those ones that pay for the pension. For the women, they will have to do 50 weeks legs to get their pension for each son that they have. Also, the guys, they need to work 900 weeks to get retired, and the government and the women, they will have to work 700 weeks to get retired. They see dividing this, but guys, we're doing better than before. Trust me. Colombians, you know, most powerful politicians are against him. You know, like it's like, for example, you know, the most powerful, you know, newspapers are against him. All the publics about him, you know, his dirty things and stuff like that. They always saying his mistake. Nobody's perfect, you know. Of course, you know, he's as a president, you know, he's before, you know, being a president, he's a human too, so he can do mistakes, you know, stuff like that. But you know, they expect him, like, you know, to be perfect, you know, stuff like that. And like I said, guys, you know, this been causing, you know, a lot of troubles, you know, in Colombia, you know, all of that, guys, you know. Hey, also, you know, if you are a friend or if you are visiting Colombia, you know, like well, you know, if you visiting Colombia, hey, make sure if you see like local protesting, make sure you better run away. Don't run, but you know, just be apart, you know, go somewhere else, you know, none of that, because politician problems, you know, foreign doesn't have to be involved in politician problems, because sometimes, you know, it gets crazy over there, you know, they say fighting, you know, all of that. And if you are just visiting, you know, you try to relax, you gotta go somewhere else, you know. If they pass around you, just go to Airbnb, hotel, anywhere, hostel, you know, bridge, anywhere you're sleeping, and just sit over there, because this protesting sometimes, majority, like 95% of the case, they do like a peaceful protest, and then they end, you know, fighting between them. So, you know, you guys don't want that for you. So guys, you know, I would like to, you know, the reason why I made this video is because a lot of people, you know, they might be like, oh, you know, why, what's going on in Colombia, you know, what's this? So I like to speak facts, you know, about that, so you guys can have an idea, a better idea about what's up with my country, guys. So hey, guys, that was all for today, guys. You know, I'm gonna let you go now, guys. You know, thanks for everything. Thanks for your support. Thanks for watching my video, guys. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You know, also you guys can follow me on IG, like CTG Connections. That's the name of my company. You know, I create a company of tours in Cartagena, Colombia. We offer tours like Volcano, Palenque, Park Boats, you know, private yachts, you know, ATV, all of that, guys. So hey, guys, that was all for today, guys. I'm gonna let you go now. See you soon, guys. See you next time. This is your boy Carlos, the Colombian guy. Boom.